Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is ASTRINIA TAMPUBOLON. Here I wanna tell about my review journal. The title is Code Switching in Learning via Zoom Application: A Study in an EVL Context. The journal from 2021. The review: A bilingualism is an ability that a person was where she or he is able to use spoken language while communicating. They also state that they were not only be able to use the two language but also master them. B. Code. Code is a term that refers to the various style used by the person when communicating with others. It tends to be a varieties or style of language utilized by somebody when speaking with others. Somebody involves the code to help the audience get what speaker implies. C. Code mixing is a phenomenon that commonly occurs in bilingual communities where the person is able to speak two language. Three types code mixing is insertional code mixing, alternation code mixing, and congruent lexicalization code mixing. D. Code switching. Code switching is a change in the use of one language variety to another that is carried out by the speaker in the same discourse. There are three types of code switching, namely tag code switching, intrasentential code switching, and intersentential code switching. E. Zoom application. According to Guzazeva 2020, page 2, meeting room providers or maker in the meeting can record the lesson. Besides that, they can also record, turn on and turn off the recording as they like as long as they use the Zoom. But only the teacher or host of meeting can activate this feature. The advantage of Zoom: during the learning process using the Zoom, students can practice speaking to measure the extent of their communication skill. But through virtual meetings, using Zoom meetings, they can also share materials concept discussed in the conversation in the learning process. In addition, to be able to do group division for students if necessary for discussion that will be easier by using the Zoom. The disadvantage of Zoom is internet connection, because when using the Zoom application, participants do need to have a high internet connection so that there is no difficulty in participating in meeting. Don't experience intermittent communication due to low internet connection, which later it result in even though they have communicated but it can be unclear. Then understanding what others explain because of the connection constraint they are experiencing, and also the Zoom has limited access to be used free by the users. Research methodology. A. The researchers use content analysis to analyze the terrains uttered by teacher and students, focusing the nature of code switching. They use video recording of the teaching learning process which has conducted through the Zoom application. 6 Zoom meeting from August to September 2020 were recorded for data collection in this study. This comprised basically conversation between the teacher and students. The number of the conversation used the analysis was 20. The instrument of research: 1. Zoom application, 2. Internet, 3. Sound and utterance, 4. Laptop. C. Technique of data collection. First one, get involved in their utterance by joining to the group class and they invite the student to join the Zoom meeting. 2. Recording the teacher learning process. 3. Transcribing the conversation by marking and taking the important conversation then relate to this research. D. Techniques of data analysis. 1. Selecting and focusing teacher and student conversation that contain code switching. 2. Classifying teacher and students conversation based on pop-up theories as cited by Bowo. 3. Finding out the function of code switching used in the learning process. 4. Drawing the conclusion. And A. Triangulation. 1. Data triangulation comprises of various source data are collected. 2. Investigator triangulation involve multiple investigator researcher to take the same data. 3. Theory triangulation involve using more than one theoretical scheme in interpretation or phenomenon. 4. Methodological triangulation involves using more than one opinion to get data. So the conclusion, based on the results of data analysis, the researcher conclude that tech code switching, intrasensential code switching, and intersensential code switching were the most common in the grade 10 in high school for Pematang Siantar, Indonesian. Further, the function of code switching that teacher and student used in teaching learning through Zoom at the grade 10 in senior high school for Pematang Siantar are 6 in class discussion of student tasks, checking for understanding, reiteration or repetition, emphasizing language elements, making inference and explanation. Finally, the researchers found that the teaching learning process through Zoom code switching ensure better learning outcomes and significantly lowers the scope for misinterpretation. Thank you.